guys, it's Coach Bailey here coming from my home. I'm going to start showing you some basics for turns and kicks to start our leaps. If you have the ability to, you want to move some furniture out of the way. This is going to take up a little bit of space, but you won't need any equipment. All I'm using here is just something you find in your house. I'm using a band we're going to use for our arms with our kicks. You can use a towel, a broomstick. If you use a broomstick, make sure something's behind your head so it doesn't hurt your neck, just to focus on our arms there. But we'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to start with our turns, and to start, what I put is, I have some white walls, so if you don't, you can use a piece of paper or anything like that. So I'm just using regular Uno cards, and I put them on all four of my walls. And that's going to be our spotting point when we start our turns. So to start here, all I'm going to be doing is just releve lifts. My feet are together, hands on my hips, keeping my core nice and tight and squeezing my bum. I do 10. Then you're going to do 10, holding in coupe, and 10 on the other side. All the way up. You don't want to be on half of releve. You want to be all the way up as high as you can, obviously with a straight leg as well. After you do 10 on each leg and both feet, you're going to move over. You're going to put your hand on something so we can balance. We don't want to be rolling all over the place. That'll be bad for our ankles. You're going to put your foot in coupe. You're going to hold. And come down. And hold again. And come down. Keeping your belly, your back tight. That way you don't wobble all over the place. Back up. And down. Good. So again, I'm only doing it so it's a quick video. This should only take about 10 minutes of your time. You want to hold it for about 5 seconds on each side before you switch, and do 5-second holds. Okay? So we're going to move back to the center. This is where your pieces of paper come in handy. You're going to start with your first one, spotting front. Start on either leg you want. Usually your dominant leg starts first, which is fine. You're going to put your hands in our turn position. One holding a beach ball out in front of you. You want to be pretty wide in front, and one right out to the side. You don't want it up here, want it down here, right in front of you. Good. You're going to spot the piece of paper in front of you, and you're just going to do a slip turn. Only doing quarters. Making sure your arms are not moving, and if you lose your balance, that's fine. And then do another one. Good. You want to finish. So you're going to do that 5 times on the one side, and then you go the other way. And then you can finish. Next time we're going to go around, you do 5 of those. Then you're going to go into half turns. Starting here, chin up, snap, half, stop. Finish, snap, half, stop. Okay? You balance, you fall over, it's fine. That's why we're working on them. Then, start going the other way. Obviously, your non-dominant leg won't be as good, but we gotta work it. Okay, then when you do those 5 times each, you're gonna start either in a lunge like this, or straight leg out in front of you, pointed toe to the ground. So either this, or this. Doesn't matter which one, whatever you want. I like to start in a lunge personally. So same arms. All your arms are gonna do is they're gonna go from here to up. Here, up. We don't want to be like this. We don't need to wind up. We're only doing a full turn. So here, and up, spot, and finish. You want to keep that spot. Don't want to look down at the ground because that's where you'll go. So chin up, watching your number, mine is number 6, or your piece of paper, and finish. At the end of a turn, whether you're in coupe or passe, after 3 quarters, you want to lift your leg up ever so slight. That'll slow down your momentum and get you to finish your turn where you want it to finish. So pull up really tall with that leg and bring it down. So do 5 of those on each leg. Then you can go on to the kicks. All right. So to start for kicks, what you want to do is you want to be leaning all the way up against the wall. And your arms are going to be down by the side for this one. And all you're going to do is just keep your back all the way up against the wall, no leaning forward. And you're just going to lift and kick. Notice, I am only kicking as high as I possibly can without bending my bottom leg. You don't want kicks like this. So keep that bottom leg as straight as can. If you can only kick this high, only kick that high. That's fine. But straight legs and pointed toes. You're going to do 10 of those on either side. Kick, kick, kick. Now obviously my left leg isn't going as high, but it's still straight and it's still pointing. Good. Then, what you're going to do, you're going to take your band, your broomstick, your towel, anything. If it's a towel, you're gonna wrap it around here and hold your arms out like this. Same with the broomstick, you're gonna wrap your arms out and it's gonna pull your arms back. With my band, I'm just gonna take it and it's already pulling my arms back. See how we got this here? Good. You're gonna wanna go 3 times in a row. I'm gonna spin this way around like this so you guys can see kind of what I'm doing. So you're gonna wanna go side to side. And you're just going to go step, kick, step, kick. 3 times in a row, trying to do 3 kicks. You want to do at least 10 kicks, so if you have to go back and forth a few times, that's totally fine. You're going to do the same thing, but you're going to go backwards. So you're going to go step, kick, and step, kick. Notice the band here. Keeping my arms where they need to be. You can't see because I'm wearing a sweatshirt, but my shoulder blades are touching. My chin is up, my shoulders are relaxed and down, just like that. You also are going to want to go sideways, so you can go this way, it doesn't matter. You're going to go step, kick, so on and so forth. Making sure shoulders are back, chin is up, and shoulders are very relaxed. We don't want to have our shoulders up, so then that loses our neck when we're presenting, anything like that, okay? If that is getting easy for you, you want a little bit of a challenge, we can do our needle kicks. I like to start in a nice squat, and once you squat, put your hands on the ground, and just lift and kick, back down, and kick, back down. Keeping your back leg super straight, and legs, and your toes are pointed, excuse me. So for that, that's just a little bit of something to get our legs moving, stretching something we might not have stretched before, as well as getting our ankles working on our full turns when we eventually get to that stage, if you're not there yet, but it doesn't hurt to try. Just make sure you're being safe and you did fully stretch before you did any of this stuff. We don't need anybody pulling anything. So really make sure you're stretching every day, even if there's not a workout to do. All right? If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to give me an email or message me on Facebook. Bye, guys. All right. So for those of you that have really weak hip flexors or don't really know how to work them, I have a few little things that'll strengthen them a little bit. I'll help it on bars, floor, beam, for leaps, and for jumps, straddle jumps, kips, anything that you use the leg lift motion for. All I'm using is just a roll of toilet paper. You guys can use anything at your house with any type of elevation to it, so candle, a ball, anything. Pillows. So I'm gonna just place it right here. You just sit right in a straddle. You're gonna sit up against the wall, arms right in front of you, and you're just gonna lift your legs up and over from side to side 10 times. So you're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. Okay? If you're not lifting high enough, tips, that's what happens. It's okay. So do 10 on one side, bring your leg over to the other side, and you're gonna lift up and over. Trying to not slouch, but also not lean back. That's why we're up against the wall. Then you're gonna find 2 objects. You want them to be relatively the same size, and you're gonna lift both legs up at the same time. 10 times both. Once you do that, your legs and your quads and your hips are gonna be sore. So all you're gonna wanna do, you're just gonna do a nice lunge stretch. You can put your leg down like this, stretch this way, lift the back leg up, stretch the quad, just so that we're not sore in areas we're not really used to working at. So the next one I have is for your ankles. I know a lot of us have weak ankles, they hurt all the time. So this is just something you can do while you're sitting watching TV. Doesn't really require any equipment, just you sitting on the floor. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna sit yourself up, just like this, one leg at a time. Start with a pointed foot, and you're just gonna flex and point, and flex and point. You wanna do that about 15 times, then you're gonna switch and do it on the other leg. Flex and point, flex and point. While this is strengthening all the muscles, it's also stretching it while you point and stretching the back of your leg while you're flexing. Once you do those to warm up your ankles a little bit, you're gonna do the ABCs. So you're gonna just sit like this, sitting nice and up tall, and you're just gonna do your ABCs. You're gonna go from A and go all the way to Z. You can do uppercase and lowercase, doesn't really matter. You can do both if you'd like. And it's just working all the different types of muscles around your ankle just to do a little bit of strengthening. And then you switch to the other side. I'm doing uppercase. And then you make it all the way to Z. And then you want to put your feet together. And you're going to want to do them with both feet as well. C, D, E, so on and so forth until you get to Z. Then if you need to, you can stretch, good stretch for your ankles. Push ever so slightly back. You might hear a crack, that's okay. And also just to finish, you're just gonna roll them out. Nice easy rolls. And you can do that all within a commercial of your favorite TV show.